Hello guys, today I'd like to show you a little project I started in 2020. Or I believe it was anyway, and that was a few years ago. I know it was around the time of lockdowns and things, so it would have either been 2020 or 2021 I suppose. But yeah, this started with a Yamaha guitar, natural finish. It just looked like a piece of wood, which I liked, because it looked like it'd be really easy to sand. Turned out it wasn't. It took me days and days just to sand the top face of it and the top face of the headstock. I also sanded the belly cut. It just worked out that way, I think. I'd sanded the top face of the guitar and then I was doing the belly cut. I was hoping to do the entire guitar, but I did the belly cut and I thought, sod it, I can't be bothered, it's just taking too much work. It was taking hours and hours and hours of manual sanding just to get the natural bit of finish off of the guitar that they'd put on, even though it didn't look like there was hardly anything on. It took a long time. So I just decided to paint the top face of the guitar and the headstock and the belly cut. As you can see, I've changed all the hardware. It was mainly white hardware or silver hardware that was on it. I thought I'll black it all out. One look on a guitar that I've never liked is a so-called sunburst or tobacco burst or whatever guitars. I've never really liked them. But I thought if I did my own version of it, then I might like it. And I really enjoyed doing it. Really gave me a right buzz to do this through lockdown. 2020 was a pretty good year for me, to be fair. You can see, made all the hardware black, even on the back. One reason I like these guitars is they just have one volume and one tone. Most Strats have, is it two volume? No, one volume and two tone, I believe. And I just never liked that. So the two tones is one for the neck and one for the middle pickup. Something to do with jazz years ago. Something like that, I believe. But as you can see, it's got a great piece of wood on the neck. I love this piece of wood, which seemed to go well with the printed pickguard. A picture of a piece of wood with obviously yellow on it, which goes with how the paintwork worked out, sort of a yellowy colour. It had a knot in the wood, so I covered the knot with a bit of writing. This is Chinese writing, I believe. I looked for hours at something either Chinese or Japanese. I would have preferred Japanese writing, but in the end, the only thing I could find that meant something that I liked and was simple enough to draw, because Oriental writing's can be quite complicated, so this was a nice simple little word in Chinese, and it just means laugh, which I do like to do. I like to have a laugh if I can. One of the reasons I did all black hardware was because the original nut was black. So I thought that's the one thing that's going to be hard to change, is the nut for me, because I'm not an experienced luthier. So I went with all black hardware, and I thought I'd add two switches. I've always been a fan of Brian May, and on Brian May's guitar he has his pickups running in series. Most guitars, especially Strats, the pickups are run in a parallel circuit, but his always runs in series, so I added a switch that swaps from parallel to series circuit for the middle pickup, and the other switch sends the middle pickup in and out of phase with the other two pickups. So the two switches are basically for the middle pickup, doing different things when they're in positions 2 and 4 with the bridge pickup and the neck pickup. But as I found out, it seems to be a bit of an impossible circuit. It worked, but only for a few minutes, and then it stopped working, and I kept fixing it loads of times, kept putting the earth wire back on, as it kept heating up and popping off. So it looks like having a series parallel switch and an in and out of phase switch in the same circuit, certainly the way I've done it in this guitar, is pretty impossible. So at the minute, none of the electrics are really working. But what I'm going to do is take the series parallel switch out and put in my red Stratocaster, which has stacked P90s. So I figured that will turn that into an absolute beast, because the pickups are already powerful on that. But yeah, I'm going to take the series parallel switch out of this and put it into the red Strat, and I'm going to replace it with a kill switch. So then I'll just have the out of phase switch for the middle pickup when it's been in use with the neck or the middle. It's got lock-in tuners. They were about £30. I guess they came from China, but they do the job. They didn't fit the holes though, so I had to drill my own holes and make a little bit of a mess of it. But never mind, I'm still quite proud of it, as it's my first attempt at doing anything like making a guitar. So hopefully I'll end up getting kits and then maybe one day making my own guitar, like my guitar hero Brian May, or Dr. Brian May. I think it's Sir Dr. Brian May, isn't it? I also put some strap locks onto it, but I don't have them attached all the time, as they're a bit big, to be fair. So I might have made a bad choice on the strap locks. Oh, and I should mention, the reason the flame's there is because I made a slight mess of the paintwork and sanded it off. I was hoping to sort of patch it up, but when I sanded it off, the patch just reminded me of a flame. So I thought, oh, I'll exaggerate it, and I painted a flame on it. And it sort of went well with the burst. I guess you could call it candle burst or flame burst. I got myself some pickups from Warman Guitars. As it is, I've never really got a chance to test them properly because of the wiring issues. It'd be nice to do a compare video. Let me know if you'd like to see that in a future video. But yeah, they're at least a quarter the price of other guitar pickups. I know there's so much emphasis on pickups. Some people have to have Seymour Duncans or other expensive brands. But I think through all the guitar videos on YouTube I've seen is that pickups aren't a massive factor in the sound. Apparently the main factor in your guitar tone is the actual speakers. Funnily enough, I just googled cheap pickups for guitars, and Warman came right at the top of the list. So, just thought I'd share that with you anyway, guys. Please don't forget to like, comment, especially if you've got anything to say at all, anything, just get it in the comments. And please subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Cheers guys, bye.